Hey, Tom here, Flip Anything. I actually have quite a few videos I haven't released here lately. Uh, Thought I'd catch up and just kind of see how everybody's doing with their investing, if they're getting out there and making things happen. uh, uh, so it's just before Thanksgiving. Um, I'm about to take off here for about a week. I'm gonna go to Hawaii. Uh, and uh, just been really doing a lot of stuff. I have a mom that's retiring right now. I have a stepdad just died. Uh, my blood dad died about 5 years ago, but my stepdad just died now. So now my mom's on her own, and so I just kind of got her in a home, and it's actually funny. It's a place just down the street from my own home. It just happens to be that I have kind of a real high end retirement home, not too far away. And so it works out great. I was actually very pleased to find out my mom had actually really saved a lot of money for herself, more than enough to take care of her for the rest of her life, very comfortably. So I thought that was cool. I always say a good life is by design. I tell my kids that all the time. I tell everybody that all the time because you got to plan it. When I was a kid, I lived in a trailer park with my dad, and there was a guy that had the trailer next to us, and he was there, and he lived in Florida, but he was there in California, and he was working. He was working for aircraft like my dad, and I remember I was just kind of in awe of this guy. I was just a little kid, I was probably like 7, 8 years old, but he had a Jeep, and I thought the Jeep was pretty cool that he drove. And he lived next door in another single wide trailer, just like we lived in a single wide trailer. But his name was Jack Lipkowitz, and I remember talking to him, and he said, "Yeah, he lives in Florida." And I said, "Well, you're here working?" He said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, it pays well here." But you got a home in Florida, and you have a place here, the trailer. And he said, "Yeah." And and I remember he had a toothpick in his mouth, and he hopped in his Jeep, and he goes, "Yeah, you got to plan it, kid." And he stuck his toothpick in his mouth, and he drove off. And I don't think I've ever seen him again. But that really stuck with me, saying, you got to plan it, kid. You got to plan it, and you do. You have to plan it. I tell my kids all the time, good life is by design. And if you don't take time to design your future, then you know, uh, you're just at the mercy of circumstance, I guess. But so I have purchased another house. That part 1 and 2 is on the house that the most recent purchase that I have. I'm also wrapping up another home that just before I bought that, I was wrapping up a home that I'm selling. I figure I'll get about $550 for it, right in there, low 500s maybe. It's 1,700 square foot house. It's a house I paid. What I pay? I paid about $170,000 for it probably 10 years ago. It's funny. I have a lot of commercial property, offices, industrial buildings. I'm actually going to go look at a 30,000 square foot industrial building tomorrow. They want like 3.3 million for it, a little more than I would pay for it, I think, because I don't think it's going to bring in $100 a foot. It was actually an old museum that was defunct. Just they couldn't make it somehow or another. Uh, uh, but it's taking that money that you got. Whether I remember optimizing $2 or $3 when I was a little kid, buying suckers that I'd buy a box of suckers, and I'd go to school and I'd resell them. And if I paid a nickel a piece for them, I'd sell them anywhere from 10 cents to 25 cents a piece. But I always had my seed capital, and that's important for you guys too, and gals. You got to have money to invest. You have to have money. Money is as much a tool as anything else. Your tool belt, your hammer if you're a carpenter, or whatever. A pen if you're a writer, whatever. You gotta have money, and even if you don't have money, I mean, obviously that's the goal, is to get there, but it's real important to treat cash uh, and think about it. Think about it in terms of how you can use it. Sometimes if I remember telling a guy that had a 15% credit card, and he had $1,200 in the bank, and he owed $1,200 on his credit card, and I was like, go pay your credit card off. You're going to get 12% on your money by paying it off. And he just could not wrap his mind around it. He goes, no, that's my savings. I can't touch that. I said, well, listen, if you owe 1,200 and you have 1,200, I mean, what's the difference? Go pay the credit card down to zero, have zero savings, but you have a credit card you can always borrow money on if you need money. And in the meantime, you're making 12% on the money that you would have otherwise been holding. So I don't know if anybody's got any questions. It's open mic, so it's freezing outside. That's why I'm not doing a poolside chat. It would just be a little too cold for me right now. But if has anybody got anything going? Is anybody buying anything? Is anybody working on something? Are you studying your neighborhood? I mean, that's always the most important thing, is that you're always studying values around you. And like I say, you got to constantly do this for years. Like right now, I would pay, I offered $287,000 for a house that, in a neighborhood where the last time I bought a house, I paid $220. And the time before I bought that house, $220. I mean, I bought several houses in there, but you go back 5 years, and I was paying $139,000 for them, and now they're worth $500,000. So you're always keeping an eye on values around your area, around your home, and they change. Ideally they go up, because that's why you're investing, right? You want property to go up in value. I'm not much of a speculator. You guys know that. I tend to buy property for less than it's worth today. And I do hold property too. In fact, what's funny is, I have a lot of commercial industrial property. I was kind of getting on this earlier, and I am getting so many direct contacts. People are writing me. People are figuring out my number, calling me, and wanting to buy my commercial, like my strip centers and office buildings and prime properties. And I just tell them, look, I'm a buyer. I'm not a seller, because I don't want to sell any of those properties. I live on that income. I have a lot of rental income. Anyways, I just thought I'd try to catch up. I'm going to post a couple more videos here. I might even post one tonight. But I don't have my video editor. She went on to better things, and so I don't have her at my disposal to do stuff. In fact, I'm looking for somebody new, and I might be doing something online. My buddy John Sonmez, he's got a good video guy that does his stuff, and he's got a nice YouTube channel. John Sonmez, Bulldog something. I don't know. Bulldog channel or something like that, but good, entertaining. He hits a lot of topics and does a lot of blogging. So I recommend you watch John Sonmez, and also Manny, a real interesting guy too. Manny from 2000 Books. He's a YouTuber. He actually stayed with me recently when he came visiting this area, and but he. They do footnotes and summarize his books, and just gets the meat out of them, which is kind of a really good way, which I may be becoming a customer myself here pretty soon, because I do a lot of audio books. In fact, I've been listening to the one Gary V. It's a book probably written 8 years ago. I finally got around to reading it, and I thought it was pretty interesting. It's called Crushing It, and I always say killing it, but he says crushing it. But same thing, it's just, making, just really making a lot of money, or, hitting a home run, and whatever that means to you. anyways, that's all. I thought I'd just jump on here. I've been very active blogging lately, and just want to let everybody know that there's some good content coming, some interesting stuff I think you guys will like. I still hadn't got around to finishing the updated draft of the book. My time has not been my own lately. I'm helping my mom, and I got a sister getting a divorce. I'm helping her deal with that crap. And anyways, so it's a lot of fun. But anyways, that's it. So I'll be posting again soon, and look for some of the content you'll see on the houses that I'm listing for sale right now. Expect to have them sold very quickly. And I actually have 2 homes in one neighborhood. I have one that's not quite ready. I think I'm going to have one agent list it for $650, and then I'm going to list this other one that I have for $550, just so that people can look and see. Because I do believe it's a $650 neighborhood, but anyways, hopefully it'll maybe if they're comparing, it'll give them some incentive to make a move on the one that I'm asking for $550 for. Anyways, that's it. Flip Anything USA. Little tired tonight, but just wanted to say hello. Look like it's quiet, and everybody have a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.